Everything is alright. Actually, I think I'd rather do like that and then angle this up more. These streams really are easier to do with a vertical thing. People always hate the vertical video, but god damn it, why the fuck is this stuck? Stupid piece of shit. Alright, there we go. Apparently I tighten it too much, I don't know. Let's see, how about that one? Yeah, that's nice. Oh my god, TJ. Oh my god, what? Bitch. Bitch. Batch. TJ can't sleep, I can't sleep. This is not even close to like when I would even try to sleep, so. I don't know. Odd Shaman. Howdy. Okay. Rainbow face. Let me see here. This live chat. Yeah. Rocking the gay Viking look. Okay. I don't really see what's gay or Viking about this look, but rock on. Where's your third eye? Maybe it's closed tonight, you know. Only break that out for the the major videos, right? Just do a partial. I can't go full on for a TJ Does Life video, you know what I mean? Come on. You look like you've done a lot of acid. I've done a decent amount. Not tonight, but, you know, in my life. Oh. My girlfriend said you look like a Powerpuff Girl. None of the Powerpuff Girls wore face paint, so I don't know. But okay, sure. Why not? Still a grumpy boy? No. Nope. Nope. I never was. I never was. If I was, but I'll never be. I guess I don't really need my hair up. Maybe I'll put this in my hair instead of my beard. How are you loving being black? You know, I love it. It's really, you know, a lot. It's like a good time, you know. It's good to finally be black. You know, I was lame and white for so long. It feels nice to like finally be able to be a black man, you know. Thank God for that. Always liked black people better, you know. Finally I get to be one. At long last. Yeah, I know. I warned you. I warned you about that Dexter New Blood shit. You gotta... I mean, the journey is okay, but the destination fucking sucks. You know? I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't like a perfect season of television, but it was compelling and it kept you going. And you know, the episode right before the final episode was like super well rated. Probably one of the best, I think one of the best rated of the series, like 9.7 or something on IMDb. Crazy good rating. And then that shit. I mean, it's just like, ugh. I don't have HBO Max, so I haven't watched the George Carlin thing yet. Look ready for Pride Month. These are not really Pride colors. Maybe they are. I don't know. So I have like some oranges and some yellows and some blues, and there's some pink and some white. I don't know. Are those like Pride colors? I'm not sure. If I was, but I'll never be. What up, TJ? I don't know. What inspires your makeup? I don't know. I just kind of like, I just kind of just do what I want. I don't know. There's not like usually a plan. I just kind of like fuck around until something happens. And then when I'm like, I feel like it's good enough, I just say, okay, I'm done. That's it. There's no plan going into it. Improv, yeah, it's like it's improvisational for sure. Like this one started, I just put some blue around my eyes, and I'm like, oh well, and then maybe some gold, and then I kind of like did this thing where I started like blending, different golds and oranges and shit together, and then I had like kind of this area done, but then it felt like the edges felt too fuzzy, so I wanted to give some lines to like give it like a definition. And so I drew the white line and the pink line to kind of just like show where the borders were. And that's pretty much what I did. Why the Viking part? I don't know what I'm doing to be Viking. I mean, I guess the fact that I have like a long beard is like Viking to some people. I don't really know what else is Viking about it. Do you go out in public with makeup? No, I'm too. I don't like to draw attention to myself. I mean, I'm already 6'6" and very large, so I already draw attention for that reason. I'm not really looking to draw more attention to myself. I try to be pretty low key in public situations. I have social anxiety, so I'm not really looking to be like a spectacle. Thoughts on Malcolm X? I like Malcolm X. I bought his autobiography. I plan to read it. I don't know if it's going to change my impression. I'm assuming it will, because it's going to teach me a lot of things I didn't know about him. But I don't know. I mean, I think that given his circumstances and all that, I think his extremism makes sense in the context of the life that he lived. Is that trauma-induced bullying or natural personality? I think it's my natural personality, but it could be stuff from my youth. Now, I was never really bullied too heavily in high school. I was not. It wasn't like I was not bullied at all. There was occasionally some bullying here and there, but I was big enough to kind of ward off bullies. They because if someone fucked with me long enough, like I'm pretty tolerant of people being rude to me. I'm pretty thick-skinned naturally. I don't get offended or upset or hurt very easily. So that kind of sometimes makes me a target for bullying, because people just pile on and pile on and pile on and stuff. And so eventually, though, I snap and I do have an incident. And usually once that happens, the bullying would stop. But the thing about it is, though, while I was not very exactly bullied, there was a certain degree of ostracization. Much of it self-imposed, but a lot of it, I think, has to do with the fact that I spent a lot of my younger years being significantly larger than my peers, and I think that when you have something that sets you apart from everybody else, and you don't quite know how to own it yet, I think it kind of it creates sort of a division, like deviation from the norm. We don't like that. And obviously, my deviations from the norm extend beyond my physical nature. I'm also psychologically aberrant in some ways. Being predisposed to ADHD and having some slight expressions of antisocial personality disorders and obvious narcissism. I want to be the ruler of the earth, for fuck's sake. Stuff like that kind of sets me apart in other ways. And I have I've always been possessed of sort of a conceited nature. So I tend to condescend to people, and even if I don't intend to, I talk to people as if I think I'm better than them, because I do. And that a lot of people, obviously people don't like to be talked to that way. So there's a few things I think that kind of make me maladjusted for social situations. Now, it's improved with time, and my sort of natural shyness has ebbed, as I've become more, you know, adjusted to being me, you know. You have a tendency to condescend to people who are stupid, though, like you do. Yeah, I mean, well, where are my eyebrows? They moved to Japan. I think they opened a bonsai tree shop in Kukuro, Japan. So I wish them well. I hope they're doing great. I mean, I'm doing great without them. So it just takes a few decades to be adjusted. I mean, yeah, it really, yeah, it does. It's unironically, yes. It's very difficult. There is a certain discomfort to it. You don't know the inherent worth of people. I don't know if you're trying to say that I'm a poor judge of it, or what. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. So maybe that's something to improve. Hey, I'm not responsible for the actions of my eyebrows, dude. I can't control what they do. They're your problem now. Abrasive personality. Honestly, I'm a pretty, aside from the condescension, I'm pretty agreeable in that I'm, polite. I hold doors open for people. I say please and thank you as a general rule. I I tend to be, not exactly friendly and gregarious, but at least, courteous in a sort of a stiff way. So I don't think I'm necessarily completely disagreeable, but I know no one would probably describe me as gregarious and friendly. But I'm a reasonably polite person in most social circumstances. There's times when that can, there's definitely instances where it deviates from that, but I think no one has a completely consistent personality. If your eyebrows rape someone, it's still your DNA. No, my eyebrows have different DNA. When they left, they changed the DNA as well. Would you be a tyrant if you had superpowers? I don't need superpowers to be a tyrant. Each eyebrow hair is a distinct personality. Yes, that's true. Very true. Misanthropy isn't a flaw, but a state of mind. I mean, what is and isn't a flaw is largely a matter of, opinion. So, my misanthropy is not a persistently burning sort of furnace within me. It's something that crops up as it needs to, or as it as it's relevant. I don't sit around all day like goddamn humans. I mean, if anything, I have a sort of pity for human beings. I think that I want to help them. I want to save them from themselves. So I don't know that I'm necessarily altogether a misanthrope. I definitely have it. I'm not going to deny that there's part of my personality that's misanthropic, and probably a part that was stronger at other points in my life. I feel like it's diminished somewhat as I've become more empathetic with age. I'm not a naturally very empathetic person, but I've worked on that attribute in myself, and I find that it's easy to find emotional vulnerability in works of fiction. In the real world, it's very difficult for me to open myself up enough to vulnerability to be, emotionally moved by much. But when I'm, watching a film or something like that, it's far easier to allow myself to be vulnerable, and that's important, I think. And doing that, I think, has opened me up to a broader range of human emotions and human experiences, and sympathies and stuff. Why try and save that which has proven that it doesn't deserve it? Um, there's plenty of things in this world that cannot survive without intervention. You know, if you're a gardener, there are certain plants you might try to grow in your garden that if you're not mindful, they're going to be overrun by weeds, right? And so it's much that the same principle. Just because something is not worth just because there's a plant that might lose the competitive race to the weeds doesn't mean that plant is less of valuable. It might be more valuable. It might be a plant that could bear a wonderful fruit, but you have to cultivate it, and you have to tend to it, and you have to be attentive to it. And I think that humanity is a lot like that. I think that there is a lot of potential in this species. It's just like there's a lot of potential in each and every one of us. And, we don't live up to our potential, clearly. But we try to, at least some of us do. I think that in the same way that we should all strive to improve ourselves, we should all strive to improve the species. We take a lot of these, a lot of times we understand this stuff on an individual level, but we don't understand it on a societal level. If every person on this planet is just a little bit better than they are right now, then doesn't that make the entirety of the planet a little bit better? I think it does. So, if everybody's a little bit better over time, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, maybe eventually we're not such a piece of shit as a species. It could happen. There's no reason not to try, right? I mean, it's pretty easy if you're just going to be like, we just suck. All right, well, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Cull the herd. Maybe. I don't know, maybe that, but it's in some manner, maybe. Would be nice to be a better person. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to be a better person. It's not even a difficult thing. People are like, oh, I want to be better. I want to be better. But then they want it to be this sudden, like, I have metamorphosized into this great new thing instantly. Well, that's not how it works. Be a little bit better. If each day you're a little bit better than you were the day before, eventually you're much better, right? So it's a matter of like, hey, I learned a new thing today. I learned a new skill. I don't know. I read something. I watched something. I felt something. I became a little bit more compassionate. I did something nice. I don't know. Starbucks queue is too long. Cull the herd. Yeah, fuck this line. Cull them all. I need my latte now, damn it. What do we want? Shorter lines. When do we want them? Now. I don't know if humans are better today than they are centuries ago. I think in some ways, maybe. In other ways, no. Would you agree the high end of Low is Manson's best album? No. I would say that it's I don't think it's some people say it's a terrible album or whatever. It's not, but it's definitely not among his best. If I had a teleporter, I'd teleport to the front of lines. Of course, the best use. But what if there was a fly in the teleporter? Ah, shit. TJ, do you think humankind is a festering, rotten wound on this planet? No. Thoughts on the self-help industry? I think that there's a lot of fucking valuable information in self-help books. I like read a lot of them honestly myself. I don't really understand why they're called self-help books for the same reason George Carlin, did criticize that. It's like, if it's not self-help, it's help. So I think of them as help books, or I don't know, self-improvement books, or books that give you tools that may help you improve yourself. And like anything else, there's good ones and bad ones. And sometimes you read it and you're just like, this is ridiculous. And other times it's like, oh yeah, this is some pretty good shit in here. But it just depends. It depends on the author. It depends on the philosophy. It depends on your temperament. Because a book that I might read and say to myself, like, this is fucking trash. This is not going to help me at all. Maybe another person who's in a different place than me is like, wow, this is like revelatory. It depends on where they are in their life. Now, I think that unfortunately, the dark side, I think, of the self-help thing is that it can lead to the creation of these gurus that are not necessarily, like, a lot of them are just very debased, sort of charlatan huckster types that they take a few general principles, some basic wisdom about life, spoon feed it to a bunch of like lost, desperate souls, and then mold them into their little slaves, like Jordan Peterson, for instance. And that's when it becomes a problem. So I think that but I don't think it's altogether a bad thing. I think some of them are actually pretty insightful. He said, aspiring to rule the world, lol. But I'm upfront about it, though. Like, I think one of the reasons why I'm very upfront about my ambitions to rule the earth are because I think it would be dishonest to try, like, I come to you and say, like, I am a demagogue, I aspire towards absolute power. Because, most of these demagogues cloak I just want to help you, I'm all about you, blah, 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 and I'm not doing that. There's a fucking gigantic component of self-aggrandizement here. And I think that, when I approach you on those terms, you can say, oh, well, all right, let's hear what you got to say. It's like, hey, he's unusually honest. Okay, well, let's see what's beyond the fucking honesty there. Is there some compelling reason why this person should rule the earth? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. That's for you to determine. I don't think I'm worthy of it yet. I'm at the stage right now where I am aspiring to be worthy to rule you. That's the point I'm at now. I'm trying to get there before I'm too old to do it. Because I already know how to do it. I pretty much know how to take over the world now, but I'm not worthy to do it. So I have to bide my time, get a little better. Improve, improve, improve. Become worthy of my own narcissism. That's the goal. Check out the front page of The Onion, and how the hell does one not spiral into substantial depression after looking at that? I can't look at the front page of The Onion right now because I'm using the screen to talk to you guys. But I'll look at it later if I remember. Heaviest Manson song in your opinion? It depends on what you mean by heavy. Because for a lot of people, I think heavy is just like loud. It's loud and a lot of aggression going on. But for me, that's not really what I think of as like. When I think heavy, I think almost like a certain like atmosphere and ambiance and like a weightiness to every fucking word, concept, intonation. So I mean, I guess if you want to talk about like just sheer like aggression, I think maybe like Burning Flag is a really aggressive song. Murderers Are Getting Prettier Every Day is a pretty aggressive song. Little Horn pretty aggressive song. Rock is Dead, pretty aggressive song. But you know, when I think of heavy, I'm thinking I think a heavy song for me is almost more like slow and sort of like boom, boom, boom. And I think of stuff more like I don't know, like Saturnalia or like Crucifixion in Space, or like you know, even Antichrist Superstar itself, Reflecting God. You know, even you know, maybe stuff like uh, fuck, like Great Big White World. Even though that's like kind of almost that's like kind of ballady and soft, I still think of it as like a heavy song, like on a conceptual basis. But I think when you're talking about heavy, you're mean like rah, rah, you know, like headbangy shit. So yeah, a lot of the tracks on Antichrist Superstar are gonna be good for that. I think there's quite a few good ones on Hollywood for that. A few on Mechanical Animals, but it's more of a glam album, so there's not a whole lot of super heavy stuff there. And you know, I think that you know, past that, there's not a whole lot of heavy stuff in that regard. I think that, you know, Manson's vocal qualities sort of changed, and energy levels changed, and sensibilities sort of changed. So there's not a whole lot of super heavy stuff after that in that sense. But yeah, Mob Scene is kind of heavy. Yeah, a little bit. I'd say This Is the New Shit is kind of heavy. Yeah, there's some stuff on Golden Age Grotesque that's definitely heavy. But please please tell us how we could stop the Democrats indoctrinating children grades K through 3. It's like a Republican talking point. I think it's really interesting that Republicans have spent so much time lately lifting cops up as heroes and you know, denigrating teachers as these horrible people, and yet we see that teachers are actually far more courageous than cops are. Especially if a shooter happens to come to the school, the cops are, you know, absolutely timid little snowflake, lily-livered pussies with yellow bellies, whereas the teachers are willing to put themselves in the line of fire to save their students. So yeah, I don't know. So the way you do that is you stop lying about teachers in America, and stop fucking acting like there's some kind of crazy agenda going on, when really the agenda is all on the right, and it's all to indoctrinate you into state power, and you know, be one of these idiots that flies this fucking thin blue line flag. You know, anyone who flies that, I think, is a piece of shit. Just like if I see that sticker, I just know, like, oh, I'm dealing with a fucking irredeemable piece of shit. But you know what? That theory was challenged the other day, because I was driving down the road, and I was in the left lane. There was a guy in a truck in the right lane, and he had one of those thin blue line stickers, and I was like, this fucking piece of shit. Oof. And all of a sudden he swerves in front of me, super aggressive. I'm like, what the fuck, piece of shit? And then I saw that he actually had swerved to avoid hitting a goose and its little goslings and stuff. I was like, oh, well, I guess you ain't so bad, you piece of fucking shit. You know, but I mean, that's nice. He didn't want to kill the goose, and maybe he just didn't want to get his truck dirty. But I'd like to think that it was a genuine, like, feeling of compassion. Like, he didn't want to kill a bunch of, like, little, you know, little geese on the road, you know. So, you know, I don't know. It made me think, like, maybe there's some good in them yet. Maybe they're not so fucking hopeless. Not wanting to kill a goose family is a pretty low bar. I know, but I'll take what I can get, okay? I'm glad he didn't take out the people trying to avoid goose. I mean, if he would have taken out anyone, it would have been me. So, you know, I feel like, and, you know, there was really no risk of that. It was just annoying. It's just like, ugh. I was pissed for a second. Bastard cut me off. You know? But, you know, there was no, I don't think he didn't do anything, like, dangerous. So teach K through 3 about trans ideology. Kidding me? Teach them about trans ideology? What are you fucking talking about? I don't know what you mean by trans ideology. Like, teach them that trans people exist? Sure. Why not? Is it like, oh no, fucking, oh, it's a spooky fact. I don't know. Like, so what? What is it going to do to them? Trans people exist, kids. Their little minds just explode. Oh, blood pouring out of their eyes, blood pouring out of their... Ah! Like, what happens? You know? I don't... Give me a break. If you kill a person on the road because you swerve to dodge animals, it's a crime in many places. I agree with that, but you know, there was no one to swerve into. Like he cut me off a little bit. It wasn't even like, oh my god, I can't avoid him now, I crash. You know, I mean, obviously, if it's like the choice is crash into someone next to you or run over some geese, you run over the fucking geese. But like, if it's reasonably safe to fucking swerve out of the way, you should do it instead of killing a fucking animal that doesn't need to die. Like, give me a break. Like, why are we... I don't know why you're, like, overcomplicating this with, like, oh, well, you know, blah, 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 what if, and, you know, maybe hypothetical bullshit. Fuck them aminos. Fuck them. I'm trans and I have young nephews. Oh no, they're ruined now. Oh my god, you're grooming them. How dare you be trans in their presence? Really stupid. Every rose has its thorn. Slippery slope, that's why the book burnings were all trans literature. Right, you know. This is the free speech party, by the way. We're the party of free speech and book burning. Wait, what? Doesn't really seem like those two things go together, huh? What? Little odd. Do you like Manson's cover of the Doors songs, like 5 to 1? Yeah, I think it's a pretty good cover. Kind of sad to hear you are for grooming our kinds into feeling more comfortable about their genitals. You want to like rework that sentence a little bit? Maybe try to get the right words in there. What? Exactly right, yes. It's an odd dichotomy, yeah. Well, it's not really... I'll solve the dichotomy for you right now. We're the party of free speech and book burning. We're the party of book burning. Dichotomy solved. They're not the party of free speech. They never were. All just a pretense. Because the only time they want freedom of speech is so they can say, like, I hate Mexicans or some stupid shit. Like, that's what when they say free speech, it's like, I need the right to fucking shit on other people. It's never because they want to actually, like, I want to say some substantive things against the way this system is run. Nope. It's always just like, I hate fags. I hate wetbacks. I want to say the N-word on national television, right? You know, it's like, all right. Free speech. But when it comes to anything actually substantive, when it comes to like, I want to challenge the system in some sort of like definable, tangible, actionable way, then it's like, what? Burn them. Burn them at the stake. You were so wrong, TJ. Can I please call you out live on stream? You can do whatever you want, I guess, but I don't have the ability to talk to you on my phone. Maybe if I was doing a computer stream, I could, like, get you on Discord or something, but this ain't a fucking Discord thing. But no, I mean, really, I wouldn't bother, because I'm not wrong. I'm like 100% right on this. There's really nothing you could say. So yeah, I mean, nah, not really. You should move to Massachusetts. Too expensive. You think it was Republicans that freed the slaves and Dems are racists. They're conflating left with Democrat, left, right with Democrat, Okay. Once again, like, I understand that sometimes people get like really passionate and then they like type some stuff out, but like if you're gonna like maybe just like before you hit send, like give it a read over and be like, oh, this makes no sense, and then, you know, retool it a little bit so that by the time it gets to me, it makes fucking sense. Do you think Manson will ever release a new album? Oh yeah. Blue, red, false dichotomy, remove international, finance parasites. Does TJ stand with Israel? No, I don't stand with Israel. I think Israel is a racist apartheid state that we should not fund, and that commits human rights abuses routinely, and should absolutely be opposed by any ethical person. Yeah, Tennessee is a beautiful state. True. It's so weird as a black dude. I've never met a single racist ever. Weird, huh? It's not really weird so much as I just think you're lying. Like you're just full of shit. Like I don't believe you. I 100% don't believe you because I'm white and I meet racists all the time. Or maybe they're just not racist to your face and you're too dumb to realize that they're racist against you. Or maybe your standards for what's racist is like so ridiculously low that like just endless, like they can just sit around being like, I say we lynch all the fucking, and then you're just like, well, I don't see anything racist with that. So I don't know what it is. It's pretty fucking stupid, whatever. Because like I have fucking know several racists right now, just like in my own family. Like I could go, I'll fucking show you some racists. You want to see them? I'll go fucking take you to meet them. Everybody is racist. Everybody. No, everybody is not racist. I hate that's a stupid. I'm equally annoyed by that. Everyone has some maybe racial bias or like, oh yeah, maybe something they picked up like a stereotype watching too much fucking shit or something. But like, everyone is not racist. There's a big difference between like, oh, I'm in a black neighborhood. I feel a little nervous or something because of all the stuff I've seen and like fucking movies or whatever. There's a difference between that and like, I won't kill all these goddamn Mexicans. Like there's a fucking world of difference between like, oh, I'm a little uncomfortable in this situation versus like, I ideologically have embraced fucking, a fucking ideology that, wants to systematically, oppress or destroy these people. Very fucking different things. To say everyone's a little racist, it just fucking, to me, that just gives like safe harbor and safe passage to people who are actually racist. Because then it's like, oh, I'm normal. Everybody's racist, just like me. It's like, no, they've made a fucking decision. It's reasonable racism. Going and lynching the black guy for getting with a white lady, that's a hate crime. I don't think there's anything such thing as reasonable racism, but there's racism that is at least understandable, especially when you look at the culture that we've like all been like inculcated with and shit. A lot of times if you're watching a movie and all of a sudden there's like you're in a black area, it's like, whoa, there's lots of violence here and shit. Whereas like if you go to an actual black area, chances of you seeing that kind of shit is pretty remarkably low. I have an uncle that lives in the town of Blackjack, Missouri, which is very close to Ferguson. It's like a 90% black town, and there's like, you would never, walking around there, you would never be like, oh my God, I'm in perpetual danger here. Oh no. People here don't share my skin tone. It's like they're aliens. They just hunger for my white blood. No. So it's just like pretty preposterous. I don't have a butthead. I only have the Beavis. He used to say things, but he doesn't anymore. I don't know if it's just if the battery is dead, or I think they're probably got corroded, honestly. Woo! Fuck Oklahoma. Yeah. That white blood be the nectar of the gods. I think people are either evil or good. Racism is just a manifestation of some of their evil ways. You don't see perfectly loving and rational people with rich lives exclaiming, oh, by the way, fuck N-words. I agree with you on that to an extent. I don't think you're wrong about that. But, to say like, oh, that's not, racism, you can say that racism is a form that evil takes, but it's still racism. Like, we're still talking about like, I hate these people because they're a different race. But yeah, like in the larger sense, is it really about race? No, it's about like way more deep-seated issues. Sure. We can agree on that. I don't think you're wrong there. So if that's what you're saying, then I guess, I'll rescind some of what I said. But, I don't know. Maybe we can fucking talk about it sometime. But right now, obviously, I'm doing a phone stream, so that's not in the cards at the moment. Let me get my water. Hold on. I'm going to use the American flag as a seat cushion so my fucking legs don't stick to this fucking leather chair. Finally, the American flag is good for something, right? Republicans want more live babies so they can be killed in school shootings. I wanted to do that meme where the people with the pitchforks and stuff, there's a guy standing on like Pride Rock and there's a bunch of like angry pitchfork wielders, and I wanted him to be like, kill babies, and they're all like, ah, and then he's like, with guns, and they're like, oh, that's okay. But, I was just like, eh. I like the flag. Yeah, it's a fun symbol. But I don't like to fucking, I don't like to overly venerate symbols. There's like, I don't know. We loved them. Yeah, it'd be interesting if, like, hey, before we just like, let's ban abortion. All right, well, like, let's solve like every social ill first, because like otherwise, that seems insane, especially when our like country's like on the verge of so many different forms of collapse. Let's mandate that people have children. It's like, okay, let's not, because that sounds fucking insane. But even under ideal circumstances, I wouldn't support it. But at least it would be like, I don't know, a little bit less ridiculous. If a baby has a heartbeat, I suppose you would call it a fetus. Is it a baby or a clump of cells? What do you think? When is a person, conception, etc. A person is a person when they're in my when they're in the phone book. There's no phone book anymore, but that's an old Bill Hicks line. You know, you're not a person till you're in my phone book. Then you're a person. Up until then, I mean, I ate a steak earlier today. I had a big old chunk of steak. I assume that the cow that my steak came from had a heartbeat. Didn't really stop me from fucking eating the son of a bitch, though. So I don't know. Like, is like the heartbeat the thing? They ask me if I'm pro-choice. I usually admit that I'm not. That is to say, I think abortion should be mandatory. Fuck. Going hardcore. Yeah, I'm not for that. I'm for choice. I don't know. That's my whole point. It's like I see these bumper stickers that say like "choose life." I'm like, well, at least you support choice. You know, choose life. Okay, that implies that you're free to choose not life. Respectable position. I would respect people a lot more. You know, I'd respect the people who oppose abortion a lot more if it was like, look, I support your choice to get an abortion, but you know, you shouldn't do it. There's a lot of reasons you shouldn't. There's a lot of fucking ethical questions, blah, 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 blah. But it's still your choice. That'd be a respectable thing to say. But this whole like, no choice. I would not shoot a cow. I mean, I guess I would if I had to. Like, you know, hey, we gotta eat, you know? It's either shoot this cow or fucking starvation. I'm gonna shoot the fucking cow. Unless it's producing milk. It's probably more valuable to have a replenishable source of, you know, calories and, you know, other stuff like that. Abortion should be up to the states. Yeah, I hate that argument. It's like, no, it should be up to the individual. Isn't that the fucking... I mean, that, which seems like the conservative position to me. Like, am I wrong about this? Because, like, the conservative... I mean, especially if you're like, I'm a libertarian. Like, okay. What I think libertarian to me means leave it up to the states. Why is this... I mean, like, why is authority being handed down from the state government better than authority being handed down from the federal government? Like, shouldn't people decide? You're pro-abortion, not pro-choice. You just adding fancy words to disguise it. Not you necessarily, I mean the type of people who use abortion as birth control method. Sluts, basically. No one uses abortion as a birth control method because it would be insanely expensive to do that. It's way easier to use other forms of birth control. No one's like, I just use abortion as my birth control method, even though it's like way more expensive than like other methods that I could easily use. I mean, just economically, that's not happening. But no one is pro-abortion. I mean, I guess there's some people who are pro-abortion, and there's some people who are anti-abortion. But really, it comes to me down to pro-choice and anti-choice. Because like me as a pro-choice person, if someone chooses life, that's fine. That's their choice. I don't care. Go ahead. Someone chooses abortion, that's also fine. That's also their choice. None of my fucking business. So, yeah, I'm truly for choice. And then other people are against choice. You know, they don't want women to have a choice. They just like, oh, no, they should be forced, compelled to have, these kids. And then I guess there's a few people like the crazy dude in here that was like, I think abortion should be mandatory. Who were just like, no one should have kids. I don't think I think that's a pretty small number of people, but hey, they probably exist. It's like getting a root canal for fun, right? It's like pretty silly. There is like a pill that you could take, but like that only works if it's like very early on in the pregnancy. In which case, like I barely even consider that an abortion. I guess it technically is. But yeah, I don't know. You know, the thing the thought experiment I always thought was interesting about it, and a lot of you guys have probably heard it before, but if you haven't, it basically goes like this. Like, you're out one night and you get drunk, and You know, you wake up in the hospital and, you know, you have been hooked up to a machine that is using your like liver to keep alive this world famous concert pianist, right? And they're like, oh well, look, you know, we're waiting for a liver transplant. You know, it shouldn't be long. You know, 9 months tops, and we will, you know, get this done, get this liver transplant. And then you know, but until then, you're gonna have to stay here and be the life support system for this person. You know, and it's like, are you obligated to do that? Or are you free to be like, no, I'm not going to do that? Because it's the same scenario. Like, you know, you make a bad decision, maybe in a fucking impaired state, and now your body is being used to keep another person alive. But in this scenario, instead of just a fetus, it's a fully fledged human being and an accomplished one at that. It's a concert pianist, right? Someone of fucking actual accomplishment. And yet, even in that situation, I think most people would say, like, no, you're under no obligation to fucking, you know, use your body to keep that person alive. You have the freedom to choose whether you want to do that or not. You know, but then when it comes to a woman's reproduction, it's like, oh, well, that's different. Well, yeah, it's different in many ways. It's different in the sense that we're not dealing with a fully sentient human being. We're not dealing with someone who's like already an accomplished, fully fledged adult person with thoughts and feelings and emotional connections and so on and so forth. We're dealing with like something that's like not even been defined yet. So yeah, I think it's very different, and I think honestly, most of the abortion stuff is just about keeping women down. It's not really about any sort of reverence for life, you know, and that kind of just is borne out in everything else. Like Republicans, you know, oppose food stamps, oppose like social programs out the wazoo. You know, they want no social safety net for anybody. They don't give a fuck if people are destitute. They don't give a fuck if people are starving on the street. They don't give a fuck if you have a roof over your head. They don't give a fuck if you're, you know, if you have food to eat. All these things across the board. It's just like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So they want to do nothing for you, but then all of a sudden they're going to bend over backwards to save this little fetus. That's when all of a sudden they're like these great charitable heroes. Like, give me a fucking break. Now you want to fucking have an attitude. You want to be pro-life, then be against the death penalty. And be in favor of every fucking social program that makes life easier. Then I'll fucking take you seriously as someone who has a principled stand in favor of life. But until then, fuck off. Until then, you're just a hypocrite in my eyes. I'll never give a shit what you have to say. Thoughts on prison abolition? I think there's way too many people in prison in this country. Now, as far as abolishing prison, no. You know, there's definitely people who need to be incarcerated. Now, the conditions of that incarceration and, you know, how that incarceration is approached and stuff like that are all, like, things that are, you know, obviously open to certain reforms. But the fact that some people do need to be incarcerated, I don't think is arguable. Like, you know, what are you going to do with a serial killer, you know? You either need to kill them or incarcerate them. You know, there's no other fucking option. You can't just abide by like, oh no, the serial killer can be free in society. That's fine. You know, that's not gonna work. It's not feasible. Yeah, mandatory minimum sentences are a terrible idea. I don't understand conservatives. If someone is unintelligent enough to keep getting pregnant 1,000 times and needs abortions, that's exactly the person you don't want to have kids. Well, it's, you know, but for them, I mean, another idiot in the world is like, wow, that bolsters conservatism tremendously. You know, oh yeah, fucking A. That's a future one of our voters right there. So, you know, they love idiots. In the words of Donald Trump, I love the poorly educated, right? Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't see how you can abolish those things, but maybe. I don't know. I'd have to hear some arguments to that effect. But I don't really see how it's feasible or pragmatic at this point. Maybe some far-flung future goal. Yeah, a lot of people are still walking the calf paths of the mind for sure. Crafty Arts, $20. Like I was telling my husband, Dems and Repubs pick groups they can fuck over with laws and regulations, please their supporters that do not affect the grand scheme of things in order to keep us fighting for the right to exist. Right. Well, I mean, everyone can see that these parties use like wedge issues to distract from the fact that they're both owned by the same, basic corporate overlords. Who, by the way, I advocate taking the fight directly to them and, paying far less attention to these politicians that are, put in front of us as a puppet show. But, it seems like we got a long way to go before we figure that out. I saw that, I know it was a biased sample because it's people who follow Elon Musk, but I saw Elon Musk tweet on Twitter the other day, like, who do you hate more, billionaires or politicians? Or who do you trust less? Or whatever the fuck. But anyway, the people on his Twitter were like, well, we trust politicians less than billionaires. I'm like, oh my God. You're literally so fucking dumb that you're fucking mad at the puppet, but forgiving the puppet master. It's like, how lost can you fucking be? Pretty fucking lost, apparently. Dems are passing laws in California to ban semi-trucks. And it's like, yep. They love to pick on groups to screw over so they can say we did a thing. I find that hard to believe simply because of all of the commerce that relies on those to transport goods. But I don't know. I'll look into it because that sounds fatuous and impossible. But I guess I'll look into it and see before I speak too soon. Ban doors. Yeah, the doors are the problem. If Trump loses again, Trump's not even going to be the nominee of his party. I hate to break it to you. MAGA is dead. Trump is not going to be the nominee of the Republican Party, even if he runs. That's the good news. The bad news is that it's going to be DeSantis, and he's way worse. Mm-hmm. MAGA seems to be alive and well according to my Facebook feed. Yeah, a vocal minority. It's like every time I talk shit on vegans, it seems like everyone in the fucking country is vegan because they're just so loud and obnoxious. But really, it's like 4%. How do you know it's DeSantis? Because DeSantis can compellingly make the case that he is a more effective version of Trump. DeSantis can go to the MAGA base and be like, look, I'm everything Trump claimed to be, but I'm politically effective in ways that he never was. And he can fucking point to what he's done in Florida to back it up. And he's more articulate. And he's fucking, I don't know. I feel it in my gut. I'm rarely wrong about who's going to fucking get the nomination of their party. So, I don't know. I feel like he's got it. I feel like his finger's on that pulse. I feel like he's Trump plus, like, enough of a brain to be dangerous. Now, the only thing that gives me some pause about that is that the Republican Party does seem to be going dumber and dumber over time. So, having someone like DeSantis in there, what's wrong with this? Dude, how do you fucking you are always in here like, you call me a supposed Republican, and then you like literally support Republican politician after Republican politician. Even the most like fucking far right-wing Nazi motherfuckers in this country, you're just like, yeah! And then you're like, how can you call me a Republican? What? I am a disaffected liberal, sir. Like, no, you're not. You're just a fucking Republican, bro. I don't know how it's like eluded you for so long. I don't know how. I mean, like, I get the same shit from Tim Pool. I call Tim Pool a fucking Republican, fucking conservative at least. And it's like, what? Huh? Oh, no. I am but a disaffected liberal, sir. Like, no, you're not. It's like the fucking updated version of classical liberal. I'm a classical liberal. No, you're not. You're a fucking conservative, okay? Oh my god, whatever. Whatever you want. I guess call yourself whatever you want. Have fun. I'm the fucking tooth fairy, you know? You're the angel of death. Why not? Everybody just be whatever the fuck you want, I guess. Whether it fucking applies or not. Snatch that hot hat off Tim, TJ. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, right? I have to just like jump across the table. Ah, mine! Curiouser and curiouser. Indubitably. Tim's beanie is probably so stinky, though. Yeah, probably. I'm a moderate anti-Semite. I just want Jews to move off. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I did not. I was not. I mean, I saw a lot of people say that Matt Binder, whatever, did a good job. I really didn't think he did, but you know, hey, whatever. Rock on. Not everyone has the same sensibilities. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you can. Tim Pool can't accept being bald because he hasn't gained the muscle to offset the lack of hair. Oh shit. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I bet your head would get itchy if you put on his beanie. Probably right. You're probably right about that. Wait, your one argument supporting that I'm conservative is that I like Trump, but I have several counterpoints to that outweigh it. Just ignore it. That's dishonest, bro. You just said you don't even have a problem with DeSantis either. Like, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. When someone goes around liking every conservative politician in America, I kind of think maybe that makes them a little bit conservative, right? Like, it's like if I see a motherfucker eating ice cream nonstop, I'm like, that motherfucker likes ice cream. And then they're like, what? How dare you? No, I don't. It's like, give me a fucking break. Why do conservatives hate being called conservative? I really don't know. Like, you'd think that if you're a conservative, like if I was conservative, which I was at one point, like back in like 2008, 2009, I mean, well, not 2000, it was like 2007. Like, I still had some Ayn Rand rattling around in my brain, and I was like, I consider myself a right-wing libertarian. You know, I'm a conservative on a lot of fiscal issues, and I'm a liberal on a lot of social issues. I consider myself a libertarian, you know, but I consider myself conservative in many respects, right? I wasn't like, don't you dare call me conservative. Don't do it. It's like, what? Just fucking be it. I mean, I don't care. Like, I mean, it's stupid, but go ahead. Be a fucking conservative. If you're a conservative, be a goddamn conservative. Don't give me this bullshit like, nuh-uh. No, I'm not. I mean, I know I like support a bunch of conservatives and like say a bunch of conservative talking points all the time, but like, that doesn't make me a conservative, bro. Are these people even real? Where do they come from? I don't know. I think they're made in a little factory somewhere. A little idiot factory, I guess. I don't know. It's fun times, though. Daddy's money makes it easy for any man to be a libertarian. Yeah, that's true. You're stuck in a logic corner, dumbass. Yeah, I'm stuck in the logic corner of maybe someone who supports conservatives is conservative. Right. Sorry about that. Trapped in a web of my own confusion. So TJ, just to wrap it up. Someone's saying, what is wrong with X? I support X. Yeah, when it's Ron DeSantis, and you honestly have to ask me, like, what's wrong with him at this point in 2022, and you're like, what's wrong with him? I think he's good. Yeah, I would say that denotes support. That's like if I was like, what's wrong with Hitler? You know, like, oh, I never said I was pro-Hitler. I just asked what's wrong with the guy. Like, give me a fucking break. Quit being disingenuous. Just fucking own up to what you fucking are. Do you plan on calling Tim Pool out on his grifting? I don't know what I plan to do. I'll do what I want. Just like I determined what my makeup was going to be, through improvisation. Same way with that. Thanks. Thank you for joining me. Screw the net. Enjoyed your presence, I'm sure. Have a good night, or whatever time it is for you. I will say you and Paul helped my right-wing ass. I'm full-blown socialist now. Of course. National socialism for the win. Okay. Have fun. DeSantis is just as dangerous as Ted Cruz if he were president. Yeah, I mean, maybe even worse. I know nothing. Nothing. What? What? Ted Cruz would be more infuriating in the sense that he's like more horrible to look at and listen to. But I don't know that he would actually be worse in terms of policy or effectiveness. I like you without makeup better. Your beard is glorious. I don't really care. You can like what you want. Like sometimes I wear the makeup, other times I don't. But it's like your appeal, your emotional state about it is like nothing, not a factor in whether I do it. You guys are getting so emotional and injecting your opinions, projecting onto me. Wait, what? You don't see it. It seems like you can't explain what's wrong with him when you could simply answer. What's wrong with him is that he gerrymandered districts in Florida to disenfranchise, minority voting populations, which like gerrymandering is already a serious problem, but we now have like the point where like an elected official is now drawing his own districts, like, yes, I will now determine what the districts are, and basically like, hey, here's this black district, let's split it up and put some of them over here and some of them over here to like disenfranchise them completely and make sure that they're now going to be represented by conservative white people instead of like democratic black people like they probably would have voted for on their own and traditionally have. So gerrymandering is one thing. Has attacked Disney, which I don't really mind as a socialist because fuck corporate America, but as a supposedly pro-business Republican, terrible fucking policy because that fucking corporation brings tons of tourist dollars into that state. And now, because of previously made deals with the Disney Corporation, the tax base of Florida, like everyday citizens, are now going to be liable for a whole bunch of fucking things that used to be paid by Disney. Also the fact that he put forth like the Don't Say Gay bill that basically, discriminates against gay people and trans people and other LGBT whatever identities and shit. Basically making it to where like, if you read a storybook to a bunch of kids that has, the prince kissing the princess, then it's okay. But if the prince kisses another prince, then it's like, oh no, this is propaganda. You're brainwashing the kids. He banned a bunch of books because of CRT, even though like that's just something. I mean, like on the grade levels that that they're talking about, like CRT doesn't fucking exist. That's like college level shit. But basically now it's like every book that even mentions racism or mentions like America's fraught racial history is now CRT in the eyes of conservative America. So he's been responsible for massive censorship campaigns. He's stifled the freedom of speech of people all over the place. He's basically a book burner. He's a piece of shit. He tried to invalidate the win of the trans swimmer because they, so basically like all of a sudden conservatives are like, who've been like for so long telling us no participation trophies, no participation trophies. Now they're like, you know what, participation trophy. You're the true winner because you got a fucking vagina. You got a real vagina. You didn't got some fucking factory doctor-made bullshit. You're a real woman. So, yeah, I don't know. I just hate the fucking guy. His stances across the board are conservative in nature. And, yeah, I'm not a conservative, so I fucking don't like him. There you go. There's something wrong about all that. I can't explain it in detail if you're interested. It seems your mind was made up before the argument even started. Yeah, it was. Because, believe it or not, I don't hold these positions, so for the sake of arguing with you, I just hold them. So yes, my mind was made up before the argument even started. What am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to be like, I'm completely undecided on everything in the universe until I've argued it out with Cynic? What would it take to make you change your mind? You demonstrating to me that the things I just said about him that are demonstrably true are somehow not true. Like I'm living in some kind of parallel universe where the things that are just like matters of public record are somehow not real? I don't know. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Like everything I said about him is true. There's no denying any of it. It's all fucking out there in the open. Yeah, like if you take me to the mirror universe where he's a really nice guy, then I guess maybe there. You made the positive claims, present your evidence, sir. No, do your own fucking research. Go fucking investigate everything I just said. It's all true. I don't have to fucking, like, what do you mean? I not only have to fucking tell you, but now I have to fucking Google it for you too? Just go look it up. It's not even hard to fucking find. No, I thought so. What? No what? Look it up your fucking self, you lazy piece of shit. Go do. All right, you asked for me to tell you what's wrong with him. I tell you, and now it's like, prove it. It's like, no. Go look it up yourself. It's not hard to find. It's all just out there in the fucking open. It's like if I explain the water, how fucking far down does this water hole of me fucking going and running fucking intellectual errands for you do? Lazy, you're racist now? Cynic, get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. You're gone. Lol. DeSantis is a piece of shit. How the fuck anybody pin that asshole? I don't know. Just to trigger me, basically. Finally, thank fucking Christ. You're probably the research. I want to say, yeah, no, I've done it because I've been down this rabbit hole before with motherfuckers. Because, it's like, well, tell me the thing. It's like, okay, you tell them the thing. Well, prove it with research. Then you show them the research. Well, that's all lies by the mainstream media, and that study is biased, and blah, 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 blah. And then it just goes on and on and on. And you go deeper and deeper and deeper, and you go more and more out of your way to fucking prove shit to them. And they're never fucking satisfied. I think he was trolling. Well, I don't care. I don't care if he is at this point. I'm trying to do a fucking show. I'm trying to talk to people that are fucking, like, worth my fucking time and not just be fucking sidetracked by an idiot who fucking is acting like a moron in here. What's wrong with Cynic today? I don't know. The same thing that's been wrong with him for the last, 3 years. He's a fucking Alex Jones, viewer and shit. I don't know. I'll probably let him back. I mean, I got a weird soft spot for Cynic, so I'll probably let him back in here at some point or another, but, for now, no. Is that even the real Cynic? Who knows anymore? There's so many fucking fake ones. Alex Jones viewer, yes. There's so many fucking fake cynics that who even knows which one's real? Or maybe there aren't any fake cynics and it's all just cynic. There's fucking who even knows? It's like there's been like this whole fucking like whatever with it. Why should a character stick around here? I don't know. Open-mindedness or something, or some some vague notion thereof. The cult of cynic. The conglomerate of cynic. Free sync. Really? Give me a sync for free. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Are you living in a shed? Yes. I'm living in a shed. It's a beautiful shed. Do you read? Not as much as I should, but yes. I'm trying to improve on that front. I mostly listen to audiobooks. I don't know if that's as good. I feel like it's not, but you know, it's a little easier to do while multitasking. What do you dislike about Cenk Uygur? At this point, honestly, I don't even give a shit. You know, I used to think he was a pretty dishonest fucking commentator, and I still think he's equally as dishonest as he was at the time. But now there's so many ones that are worse that I just don't even care. Been watching Imagica by Clive Barker. Pretty weird so far. I have no idea what that is. TYT said he retired. Military official warned of a coup in 2024. Do you think it's credible? I mean, they tried one in 2020, so I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, like, a lot of people say a lot of shit. Who fucking knows? Cenk has flown under the radar, but he still sucks. Maybe. I don't know. Who cares? He's not, I don't know. I mean, he's not been relevant to me in a while. I don't know if he's been relevant to, you know, the discourse in general or whatever the fuck, but like, I don't know. You look insane, like you should be murdering teens in the woods. Well, you know, I got back from that earlier, you know. I've always wanted to be in a horror movie. I've always wanted to be the killer in a horror movie, so it might be fun. I haven't thought of Cenk for years until this moment. Are you familiar with Ben Burgess? I feel like I might follow him on Twitter, but I don't know. Peter Jensen is cynic, I could tell by the emoji analysis. Oh, shit. Bryant Field gave money and said Biden is senile and Kamala is a wet blanket. I think Bernie might run again in 2024. No, Bernie is too old. There's no way. Bernie Sanders is like, what is he going to be in 2024? Like 86 or something? I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. I think that ship has done sailed. That ship don't sail. I don't have a problem with Hassan Piker, but every time I've ever tried to watch him, I feel like the stuff he's saying is like pretty remedial to me. You know, not to like, oh, I'm so above that or whatever, but you know, I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. I don't know. I find his like reads on shit very like surface level. Maybe someone will take offense to that. I don't know, but or maybe I just haven't seen him at his best. I don't know. I imagine Elon Musk making a Trojan horse mecha Bernie Sanders, whatever the fuck. What? Hi, TJ. Hey, anonymous reviewer. Love the makeup, TJ. Thank you. John Fetterman. Yeah, the big guy, right? He's fine, I guess. He's very pro-Israel, which I don't like, but whatever. Do you like the movie Tremors? R.I.P. Fred Ward. Yeah, I'm a fan of the movie Tremors. Should do corpse paint, TJ? Yeah. That might be fun. I usually don't try to, like, I think if I actually tried to do something, I might not be able to pull it off as well, but I could give it a shot. I feel like if I just stick to black and white, it should come across being sort of similar to corpse paint. Did you get rid of your eyebrows? Yes. I do not have any eyebrows anymore. They're gone. Gone. Are you excited for Kevin Bacon's new horror movie entitled They Them? It's a slasher film that takes place in a conversion therapy summer camp. I have not heard of it, so I don't know. I've never been a huge Kevin Bacon fan, but I guess I'd give it a chance. You know, I love meth. It's Cynic again, by the way. Yeah, I know. It was pretty obvious when you fucking were like, let's Cynic back. I watched a documentary on how they made the worms, and they literally had a guy inside them, and they buried them in the ground inside the suits. What? Rainbow, blah, 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 something. When is the next Sim for Six video? There's some, you know, it's supposed to come out pretty soon. So it's already come out for patrons. I don't know if it's ready to come out yet for plebs or not. But it should be coming out like in the next day or so. So not too long now. Spread the conspiracy theory that in conversion corners that the internet, that Elon Musk plans to donate all his money to South Africa and make America obsolete. Okay, go ahead. Spider Baby is a great movie. Like how you have the Amazing Atheist and Paul's ideologies, I kind of wish Scotty had his own standalone channel as well. He does some stuff on, he does like an Ask Scotty thing on the Patreon. So I guess you can kind of see it there. Yeah, I loved the Zeus episode. That was pretty great. You are the Zeus, TJ. There is no objective reality. You dudes ripping on Biden was hilarious on Onion Nuggets. Yeah. Well, he's pretty easy to rip on. Like, you know, I don't know if there's ever been a less inspiring figure than that guy. You know what I mean? Like, especially I can't think of a president in my lifetime that's inspired less confidence. You know what I mean? Even like Trump and Bush, you know, like had some kind of like finer points, you know, like at least they had some kind of balls, maybe. Biden is just like, I mean, talk about an empty suit, basically. There's like, yeah, he's desolate. He's used up. He's a prune. He's a fucking withered up, dried old prune. There's nothing left. There's nothing left to Joe Biden, dude. Yeah, leftover Subway sandwich. A husk, yes. The husk of Joe Biden is president. Where is my cough syrup? I don't know. Have you looked in your medicine cabinet? You look like a warrior princess. Thanks. Give me a show on USA then. Ugh. Why you done what you done? Paul kind of blows Elon. Yeah, I gave him a little shit for it the other day on the onion nuggets. I didn't really overtly say that, but I just kind of like started like making declarations like Tesla done. Tesla's fucking over. Honestly, I don't think Bernie running a third time would look very good. I mean, it'd be a waste of everyone's time. Don't fucking do it. He's too old. You know, get someone else. Get it. We need a younger Bernie. Senator Kevin Sorbo. It's gonna happen. No, it won't. It's really not. Do you think you're insane? No. But I guess an insane person typically doesn't, right? Very few insane people are like, I am insane. So, yeah, it could be. Yeah, President Sorbo. Is Sorbo really running? Not to my knowledge. Too old car was BS last time. 2 runs, in my opinion, but it is valid now. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, it wasn't even bullshit last time. It was just like he was too old, but like that was the only real strike against him, so it was like, you know, whatever. We'll overlook that. But now, like, he's way too old. Come on. Way too old. We're not talking about just like a little too old now. We're talking about like way the fuck too old. You know, he's not even close to being, you know. We missed our opportunity with him. Yeah, it's over. That's done. Just put that in a casket and bury it, you know. That's never going to happen. He's still more intelligible than Biden. Who isn't? Every other dude at a nursing home is more intelligible than Biden, you know. '47th President Tom Cruise makes the official state religion Scientology. Tom Cruise could never win an election. There are some actors that I think maybe could win an election in this country, but Tom Cruise is not one of them. Gail Cord Schuler for president. Yeah, I have lost some weight. Motherfucking CJ. Gal Gadot. If we can download our consciousness into machines, we could travel through space for millions of years and never die. Okay. Maybe. Did you beat the 300 LBS? No. But I'm doing an unusual. I guess it's not unusual, but it's you know, a lot of people when they are trying to go from being fat to having some muscle definition, they either, you know, focus on muscle and then lose some weight, or they, you know, they lose weight and then focus on muscle. It's kind of hard to do both at the same time, which I'm trying to do. So it's a little bit rough because I'm experimenting with different caloric intakes, you know, and different regimens of lifting. So, you know, It's a little difficult. I'm trying to find that Goldilocks zone. No, Democrats suck. Bro, just walk 2 km daily. You will become fit in 2 months or so. Adjust food. Most of it is fitness and walking. But I'm not really interested in being skinny. I want to be muscular. So that requires weightlifting. And a lot of weightlifters, the weightlifters don't just hate cardio because it's like they think it's pussy shit. They hate cardio because it takes away energy from weightlifting. So and also you can get honestly you can reach pretty good you can get pretty good cardio just doing lifting because it will increase your heart rate. So what I do is I do a little like a light little I wouldn't really say it's light cardio, but it's not. I don't do a long session of cardio, but I do like 10 minutes of hit high intensity interval training on the treadmill, which is basically like 2 minutes kind of soft, and then another minute like going harder, and I'll do that for like 10 minutes, and I'll hit some peaks there and get my heart rate up to just kind of like get my body going, let it know like, hey, we're exercising now, and then I'll go hit the weights, and but that's the easy part. The hard part is trying to figure out what levels of calories I need to be at, because if I'm at too much of a deficit, it's hard to get it to gain muscle on a calorie deficit, especially a severe one. You're actually supposed to have a bit of a calorie surplus to gain muscle, but to lose weight, to lose fat specifically, you gotta be at a deficit. So luckily, it is possible to both lose the fat and gain muscle at the same time, but it requires that you are at enough of a deficit to where your body will burn fat to make up the difference, but you can't be at so much of a deficit that your body is eating up the muscle too. And that means not only limiting the calories, but in my case, I think it's probably wise to kind of limit carbs in specific. I've kind of decided that my body is like pretty good at making carbs into fat stores. So I'm trying to load up on more protein, do like a protein heavy diet that's like kind of just under my, you should lift before cardio. That's true if you're doing like intense, like long, I mean, really you should not, if you're going to do real cardio, if you're going to go like on a run or something, and do actual cardio, then you should do that. You should do that separate from your lifting. Like I think like they recommend like 12 hours of separation between the two at least. Because they just don't pair well together. For like a few reasons. But if I the way that I do a little light cardio, like light in terms of like 10 minutes. Doing 10 minutes of cardio before lifting does not drastically affect my weightlifting performance. I don't even know if it affects it at all, to be honest with you. I think maybe it actually has a positive effect because it gets my like heart going. And I think, when my heart rate's up a little, it's a little easier to lift those weights. So I do a little light cardio beforehand just to get my heart rate up and to do like a little warm up on my body and to burn a few little calories and stuff. I don't think it has any effect. But if I was going to do serious cardio, then yes, it would be a bad idea to go right from cardio into weightlifting. That's not really advised. Now, some people do it, but it's going to limit your gains because you're going to be fatigued. Either you're going to lift weights first and your cardio is going to suffer, or you're going to do cardio first and your weightlifting is going to suffer because you're going to fatigue yourself on one and then not the other. So, it's better to kind of separate those. So, if you're going to do, like a lot of people do like weight day, cardio day, weight day, cardio day, weight day, cardio day kind of thing, So, but I don't really do a cardio day because like, even if I'm just doing weightlifting, like, I can look on my app and see like, oh, I'm still going into cardio, just from doing this, because I'm, there's enough strain into it, and I'm like enough out of shape, you know. How do you find the drive to stay consistent? Well, if the key is that even if you fall off of consistency, you just do it, you go back into it, you know? Like, oh shit, I fucked up today. Well, don't fuck up tomorrow. I have a Fitbit, so I use the Fitbit app. Was there a particular event that motivated you to take fitness seriously? Well, one thing that I've learned is that motivation is ephemeral. Don't rely on motivation. Motivation is a piece of shit. Rely on discipline. Discipline will get you through the hurdles and the humps. Motivation won't. Motivation will fucking fail you. So don't rely on motivation. Motivation's great to like spark something in you, like I'm gonna do this. But from there, that motivation is not going to be there the whole fucking time like a bedrock for you to stand on. It's going to wax and wane. It's going to come and go as it pleases. So having like the self-discipline to do it even on the days where you're like, I don't fucking want to do this. That's the really hard part. And that requires you telling the little voice in your head that's like, fuck it. No, fuck you. I'm doing it. If you get COVID while overweight, you're more likely to get severe illness. I don't know. I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but because actually, according to some research I've done recently, like having a little bit of fat, being a little overweight is actually maybe not so bad for you. Being morbidly obese for sure is linked to a lot of problems, but like having like a little extra weight, a little extra fat, like some fat stores. I mean, like we have fat stores for a reason. You're supposed to have some fat on your body to like use for situations that are maybe a little like lean or whatever. And like sometimes when people get sick, they, it's like the time when that extra energy might be, used by the body to do something productive. Now, obviously, being like gigantically fat, not so great, but like having a little extra weight on you, a lot of research indicating that maybe that's not so bad. Now, obviously, like most things with health, there's pros and cons. So, take it for what it's worth, but, yeah, I definitely need to lose some weight. I'm too fat. But I don't really want to lose all my fat. I want there to be, I want to have a little bit of fat. Tyson Fury is a gypsy king with a natural fat padding. I don't know who that is, but maybe you're right. Paul's ego versus Ben Shapiro, pure gold. Yeah. I don't know. It'd be funny. Have you considered a personal trainer despite cost? Not really. I like to go my own path. I don't really want to like obey some other person. And I listen to all kinds of different personal trainers now. I can go listen to the opinion, and I'll tell you what. You listen to 100 personal trainers, you hear 100 fucking different things that are very different from one another. And when you are an independent person, you can kind of take the aggregate of all that. Now, if you're not like okay, so I'm a person that loves to research the fuck out of everything. Okay. I don't do a goddamn thing without doing a fucking mountain of research first. So if you're not like that, then yeah, maybe a personal trainer is good for you because then you have a guru, you have someone to look up to. But if you're like a person like me that likes to like research a bunch before you do anything, then I don't know. I don't know if you need a personal trainer. Just watch a bunch of them, see what they all say. And if you are going to get a personal trainer, maybe just get them to teach you form, because that's the most important thing they can fucking probably impart upon you. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's kind of hard to accept about this body transformation that I'm trying to undergo is that it's not going to be fast. And I'm a very impatient person. Like, I want results and I want them now. I'm an American for fuck's sake. I want quick results. Now. And it's like, it's not going to happen that way. That's not how it works. It's not going to happen now. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be a month from now. It's going to take years. That's hard. That's hard for someone like me to accept because I'm impatient. But it is what it is. I wish I'd started earlier in life. I wish I wasn't doing this at the age of 37. I wish I was doing this at the age of, 20 or something, maybe even younger, but, it is what it is. Life is life. Always keep the goal in mind. Well, the book I'm reading now, Atomic Habits, I've never been very goal-oriented. Like, my friend Corey is always telling me, like, hey, you need to fucking set a goal. You need to set a goal. You need to set a goal. I'm always, you need to set a goal. Goal, 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 goal. Very goal-oriented. And I'm not very goal-oriented. And I've always felt kind of bad about it because, it's like, goals bring everything into focus, right? But I was listening to this book, Atomic Habits, and one of the things that was in the book that really resonated with me as a goal-hating motherfucker is don't focus on the goal, focus on the system. Don't worry about some nebulous goal that maybe you'll reach, maybe you won't, because if you don't reach it, you'll feel like a failure, and if you do reach it, then it's like, I did it. And then it's like, well, now I have permission to just be like, focus on the system. Focus on the system of improvement and push it to its fucking absolute fucking limits. And that's what I do. I'm trying to be the best I can fucking be. My goal is to reach the fucking pinnacle of whatever perfection I'm capable of. That's that. TJ, you're old. Yeah, but at least I know the correct form of "you're" to use in that instance. At least I've been around the block long enough to know some basic rules of grammar. Eternal daily apotheosis. Right. I can't spell, TJ. Are you saying I can't spell comma TJ like you're addressing me, or are you saying you cannot spell TJ? It's not like you read Scott Adams' Goals Are Better Than Systems book. I don't know, I read the opposite of that, I feel like. Because I'm saying systems are better than goals. But I read the Atomic Habits guy, so that's what I read, I'm not kidding when I say Atomic Habits single-handedly helped me lose 40 pounds. I bought that book like a year ago, and I only started listening to it earlier today when I was in the tub, because I pretty much take a bath every day. I don't know what it is about baths all of a sudden, because I used to be a shower person, but now, I'm taking baths all the fucking time for some fucking reason. But anyway, I guess maybe because it's a little easier for me to listen to something while I'm doing it. And, I started listening to, the first chapter of it, and I'm like, wow, this book, I like this better than, other shit that I've listened to recently. This seems to cut more to the heart of the matter than a lot of shit that I've, subjected myself to in the past, looking for some sort of, systems and, ideas to help me improve myself. I'm just I'm resonating with this one very strongly. So I'm not sure. I haven't listened to the whole book yet, but the first chapter really impressed me with its insights. So I'm hoping the rest of the book is equally as useful to me. Do you think you should run for president instead of Bernie, TJ? I'm really kind of torn on that because I don't want to run in either of the major political parties. But and I also really don't want to be the president. I want to be the emperor of the world, but maybe president of the United States is a fucking step on that path. But I feel like I couldn't be president because to be president, you have to, take the oath of office. And I don't want to lie to the people. I don't want to say I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the Constitution or whatever when I really want to get rid of it and replace it with something more to my liking. I don't know. I don't want to be I don't know. Deceit seems wrong. But I guess maybe if I told people in advance, like, hey, I'm gonna do this oath, but it's only because of ceremony and ritual. I don't mean a fucking word of it. Hope that's all right with you guys. I guess then it'd be fine. I don't know. I had to look into some shit for that, but I don't think I'd win anyway. I don't think that's how I get power. I think I have a different path, but we'll see. All hail God King TJ. Yes, indeed. I've never heard of that person, Zoltan, whatever the fuck, but that sounds interesting. Most infamous scammer in the world, Trump became president, TJ. Blah, 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 yeah. Ugh. Eh. Do you like this streamer Xander Hall? I can't really say that I've watched enough Xander Hall to know the answer to that. I follow him on Twitter. Seems fine there. I don't know. Scam situation. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have such trouble finding time to read books. I've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to stream for you guys for a while now. Like, I don't know how long it's been since my last stream like this, but like, I've been thinking about it every day, and I've just not had the time. But today I do, so that's good. Do you derive any enjoyment from lifting weights in and of itself, or is it just a means to an end to accomplish your goals? I enjoy it. Still chow down on some Oreos. I have not eaten any Oreo. I'm not like against it. Like, so today I was kind of bad. I went to Texas Roadhouse, and I just decided, like, fuck it. I'm gonna let myself have a day to just like eat how I want to eat. And I did it. I still monitored my calories and stuff, and wrote shit down. But I wanted a day to just kind of be free. And I kind of indulged, and afterwards I fucking went and I ate a fucking Twix bar. So, I ate a bunch of calories, and I ate way more carbs than I intended to. But it was kind of interesting to see, like what eating like how I want to eat actually entails. It was like eye-opening to look at that broken down in terms of like, here's the fucking calories you consumed. Here's the amount of carbohydrates, here's the amount of protein, here's the amount of fat. I was like, oh, okay. So that was interesting. It was interesting to see. But my goal ultimately is to have like hit about 3,000 to 3,300 calories a day, but to not have try to keep carbs down as much as possible. So the problem with that though is like a lot of carbs are fiber, which I don't want to limit, but it's kind of hard to know because like you don't always know like what kind of carbohydrates you're dealing with in something. You kind of just gotta look and like compare, like, oh, is this high in fiber? Well, a lot of the carbs are probably from that. So, I'll have to measure. I'll have to weigh shit out like on that basis as well. 3,000, that's a lot. It would be a lot for most people, I'm sure, but for me, not really. For someone who so I am 6'6". I weigh 303 pounds currently, last weigh in. My basal metabolic rate is pretty fucking high. I exercise probably at least 3 or 4 times a week. and do pretty intense exercise. I am a chronic pacer, which means that I burn a lot of calories that way, and I'm a fidgeter, which actually you wouldn't think fidgeting would be a super effective means of burning calories, but actually fidgeters burn, I think on average, like 600 to 800 more calories a day than non-fidgeters. So I'm actually a calorie burning fucking machine. But I'm also a calorie consuming machine, especially when it comes to carbohydrates. Now, yesterday, when I tried to consume 3,000 calories without relying on carbohydrates, I found it very fucking difficult. Like, it was amazing how much harder it was to get to that point. Today, getting over 3,000 calories was like a fucking cinch because I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm eating how I want today. Getting over 3,000 calories and being able to eat carbs, it was like, whoop, super easy. But getting there with fucking without relying on carbs, super hard. You lost your wifey. Sorry for you. No, I didn't. What? Unless you mean my first wife. Throw some yoga in the mix. Don't harm yourself lifting. Ain't stretching. Yeah, I'm not really big on stretching, to be honest with you. I don't really like it that much. Maybe I should get into it. But it's not for me. I try to do it, I realize it's important to do some stretching, but it's like, it's like it's not the most pleasant thing, for me. Deadlift, TJ. Chelsea is, she's working out as well. She doesn't do the same workouts as me, but Chelsea does not want to lose weight. Chelsea wants to strength train. So Chelsea has been strength training, as I have been trying to do this weight loss and muscle gain thing. And she's had some pretty impressive results. If you saw Chelsea flex, if you could come feel Chelsea's bicep or something, you would see that, I feel like standing. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust everything. If you could feel Chelsea's biceps and shit, she's very strong. She was doing 50 pounds on it's not like a flat bench press. It's like an incline bench press with dumbbells and shit. It's a little harder than the flat one. So that's pretty good. Especially for someone who just started this a month ago. When was the last time it was below 300? I don't know. I don't quite remember, honestly. What was that? TJ being 6'6", you would think he has a massive dong, but a quick Google search, and boy, I was wrong. I'm just love that you were like, I bet you I could easily find his dick with a Google search. And then you did. A 6'6" individual, you 100% should be practicing balance and stretching because you get older, your falls are going to be way more lethal and your joints will be under more stress. Probably right. Chelsea can curl 50 pounds. I didn't say she could curl. I said she was doing an incline bench press. I don't know how much she can curl, honestly, but she does have huge biceps, so I wouldn't be surprised. Do you see yourself directing any movies, TJ? If I do, I'm going to have to set some other stuff aside to do it. She can bench press the house. Oh yeah, fuck that house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I like that song. Tone what? Are you the amazing atheist? Yes. She should be the She-Hulk. She's definitely got more muscle than the She-Hulk, so At least according to the Marvel show. I bet TJ can't even dance, yo. That's a pretty good assumption because I'm really probably not very. I'm not very graceful. I'll tell you that. White boy, you goddamn white boy. You goddamn white motherfucker. If you win the presidential election but refuse the oath, what happens? I think you just can't be president. I think it's like a requirement office. So I don't know. Shrek Hulk, yeah. TJ, listen to my local band. No, I don't want to. I have no urge to listen to your local band. Sorry. TJ's transformed into Paul. Yeah. Yep. How's the back hair after the shave? I don't know. I shaved it. I think it's like probably growing back somewhat. I could feel some stubble back there. So I don't know. You tell me. TJ, do you still own DP? No. TJ is transforming into more TJ. That's true. Your back is wide. Yep, that is also true. Truth. Truth, truth, truth. Is the Shapiro episode next week going to be public eventually? It's not next week. It's June 15th. No. The whole point of it is to draw people behind the Patreon paywall. Like, it's to get you on the other side. That's the enticement. So releasing it to the public would defeat the purpose. Maybe we'll release a portion of it, but not the whole thing. No. Don't sad face me. Just fucking become a patron. It's $7. I'm already here. Yes. For how much did you sell DP for? That's none of your fucking business. What kind of animal smokes weed at Ray Liotta's funeral? I don't know. What is this, a riddle? Scam situation. Why did DP split? None of your fucking business. Stuff that designed to be in shadowy grottos should remain. What? Modoc 10. Just sent a little emoji. People still living in 2016. Yeah. Smoke weed at a funeral, baby. Smoke weed at a funeral now. Smoke weed at a funeral, baby. I don't even care. How? You look younger than you did back in the days. Weight loss got you looking real good, man. Yeah. Well, I'm still pretty fat, so I don't know. Maybe I'll look younger and younger as I go. I don't know. I don't know how much weight I want to lose. I want to keep some fat for sure, because I don't want to be like all fucking cut and shit. I feel like that's kind of disturbing looking to me, but I would like to have less fat on my body for sure. I'd like to be noticeably and visibly strong. What happened to Cody? I don't know. The B movie was retarded, but Ray Liotta was funny in that one scene he had. Okay. How did you get hairy upper chest? I just have that. I don't know. Want to have the looks of a mini Big Show. I don't know. Maybe. Who win a fight, 2011 TJ or you now? Probably me now. Because 2011 TJ didn't do anything but sit on his ass, whereas I actually, like, do stuff. So I think I'd be more prepared to to fight. I don't think 2011 TJ ever did anything that required much stamina. So probably me. Was 2011 TJ bigger? I think he was less fat than I am. But I don't know. 2011 TJ had rage. 2022 TJ still has rage. But maybe not, I don't know, maybe not as fiery. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. Have you increased your killing power? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I have to say that I feel like I'm more capable of kicking someone's ass now than I was in 2011, but I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. Dun 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 dun. All right, I'm getting kind of bored, so I think I'm gonna go find something else to entertain myself. Go find some other activity to indulge in. But it was enjoyable to talk to you guys for the last 2 hours. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Yeah, I had a little bit of a bump today, but not much. I'm still, I'm in it for the long haul as far as those stocks go. I feel like the companies I'm invested in will be good in the long run, but I invested at pretty much the peak of a bull market, so there was no fucking chance that I wasn't gonna fucking find myself in this position eventually. But anyway, I'm not gonna hit the gym now because the gym is not open, so there's no chance of that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Blah 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 blah. Peace.